Welcome to Investors Group Field, where tonight we'll bring you two tremendous championship football games. First, the championship of the Winnipeg High School Football League's Vidruk Division. It's the CTV Bowl between the Sturgeon Heights Huskies and the Steinbach Sabres. Then, immediately following, we'll bring you the championship of AAA football, the John Potter Division, and it will be a tremendous game tonight between Vincent Massey and St. Paul's. But right now, we're going to get to the Vidruk Division, the Class AA Championship. Of course, Steinbach is a Potter team, a AAA team, and as Doug Kovacs, my sidekick, told you last night, there was reseeding done after the season ended. And Sturgeon was reseeded into the Vidruk Division, and Steinbach, being one of the top teams in the Vidruk, went into the playoffs as one of the favorites, and of course they are here tonight to face the Steinbach, or rather the Sturgeon Heights Huskies. I'm Scott Taylor, and I'll be with Doug Kovacs tonight at Investors Group Field for our doubleheader here on mytoba.ca and theCUBE. Now, I want to apologize to you before this thing begins. From our vantage point here at Investors Group Field in the press box, it is almost impossible to read the numbers on the Steinbach jerseys. We're going to do the best we can. We know some of the players, and we'll be able, I think, based on the way they run or catch or throw the football, be able to tell you exactly who it was. But I have to apologize early. These numbers are almost impossible to read from our vantage point. Got to tell you, Sturgeon Heights, their numbers are perfect. They'll be easy to read, so we'll be able to handle the Sturgeon Heights Huskies. So we're getting set for the kickoff. Steinbach will kick to Sturgeon. Sturgeon won the toss. And we're just about set to go for the Vidruk Division Championship, the CTV Bowl, right here from Investors Group Field. We're set to go. The kick is away. And the ball comes down just at the 25-yard line. It's taken there by a receiver. And he's got plenty of room, and he could go. What a great tackle. Great open field tackle. Number 82, Dry Malavoie, returned the kick all the way to the 54-yard line of Steinbach. We'll make it the 53. And that's where Sturgeon Heights will scrimmage the football for their first possession of the Vidruk Division Championship. It's the Class AA title game between these two outstanding teams, and of course Sturgeon was originally a Potter AAA team. Quick pitch to the little scat back, and boy is he quick. That's Caden Corey, and Corey gets all the way to the 35-yard line. Great bit of running by Caden Corey. The quarterback is Liam Prendergast. Corey is the tailback. We'll also see a bit of Stephen Hart. He's a big defensive lineman who also acts as a ball-carrying fullback from time to time. Prendergast in the pistol, gives it to Corey. Corey's got some room, and he is loose. Corey to the 20, the 15, inside the 10, a couple of moves, cuts it back, stays on his feet, heads to the end zone. The second play from scrimmage is a touchdown. Caden Corey takes it 36 yards, but there was a hold. A seal by the defense or the offensive tackle, and a hold on the play, and it'll come all the way back. What a tremendous effort by Caden Corey. A hold takes it back 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20. A tremendous run by Corey, but the penalty, the holding call, brings it back. So 1st and 20. The line of scrimmage now, the 46-yard line of Steinbach. Liam Prendergast, the quarterback. Prendergast fakes to Corey, rolls, and throws to Riley Pierce. Pierce cuts it back inside, down inside the 30 to the 28, and he almost got all the yardage back. It'll be 2nd and 3. And a great fake by Prendergast to Corey. Just about everybody on that Steinbach defensive line thought Corey was going to get the football. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the, rather 2nd and 3 from the 28. Make it 2nd and 2. On the 18-yard gain by Riley Pierce. Prendergast to Corey. Lots of room. He cuts it back again, and he's got all sorts of room. He's taken down at the 12-yard line. They'll mark him at the 13. But Caden Corey, with all sorts of speed, cut that one back. And it's a 1st down now at the 13-yard line. So Sturgeon has been able to move the football against the Steinbach Sabres. Prendergast in the pistol. And that pass was blocked. It was almost picked off by number 54, Dawson Switzer. Well, Doug Kovacs, you made it. How was the traffic?
Fantastic. Good evening, everybody. Coming out of Grant Park here, it's tough. I do JV lifting after school with the freshmen, and then Pembina Highway is not cooperative.
Not at this time of day, is it?
No, it's not.
Prendergast to Corey. Corey is met, drives forward, takes it down to the 10-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 10 for Sturgeon.
Well, the tailback for Sturgeon Heights is an incredible young man here. Despite Sturgeon not having only one win in the Potter this year, he was among the league leaders in yards gained. A lot of them happen late in games, but still to pile up that many yards in the Potter division. I think he finished 3rd in rushing there behind Ethan Paul from Sisler and Josh Weichel from Grant Park. But he's an impressive young man here, and he's got a lot of skills. He's only a junior as well, so he's going to be back next year for Sturgeon.
Tyler Weeb in to try the field goal, and it's good. Correct, that's Samuel Lockley with the field goal. My mistake. And it's 3-0.
Those Steinbach jerseys are
almost impossible to read.
They look sharp, though, probably close up. It's almost like UCLA used to have the gold numbers, and they're impossible to see from the stands, so they had to go more to a yellow to stand out on the blue. But, the outline's not thick enough.
No, it's almost impossible to see from here. The bench is fine. The trouble is the guys on the bench, not playing.
I understand. Well, we got 1st down here for
at the 35-yard line. The quarterback we do know, Christian Knelson. Handoff inside to number 23, I believe, Patrick Mendel.
Yeah, he's a senior this year. He was a leading go-getter for him last year and got them to the Vidruk Championship as well against St. Paul's, where they weren't able to complete the task at hand. But they're pretty standard Steinbach team here. They like to run the outside zone play, and they'll throw some play action off it, as we just saw in that one. Coach Peter's been running this offense for 2-3 years now, and I'm sure the kids are very familiar with it.
Pass is incomplete. That'll make it 3rd down and 6 yards to go at the 39-yard line of the Steinbach Sabres. So the punt team comes in. Back to receive the punt is a young man who already had a great return. Number 82, Dryden Lavoie. Back with him is number 27, Andrew Delamere. Punt goes to Delamere. He handles it.
Great
and heads the other way. Gets a couple of blocks, heads way outside the other side of the field. Doesn't quite get around the corner, but brings it back to the 46-yard line. So once again, Sturgeon with pretty good field position to start their 2nd drive of the game.
Well, you could see it. They had a great kick and landed right between the numbers and the sideline there, and he used his speed to get outside. He managed to get about 15 yards going all the way along. Of course, he had to run 75 to get 15. But, every yard counts in this game right now, and being out towards midfield instead of inside your own 30 is a good place.
So Prendergast, again, staying in the shotgun, pitches to Caden Corey. Corey, plenty of room inside, cuts it back, gains 7. He's quick, isn't he? Quick inside, hits the holes pretty hard.
Yeah, he's a little, he's like a cannonball there. He, not a lot of moves, a lot of speed though. He's going to hit you real hard here. We didn't get a chance to play Sturgeon this year, so we didn't get a chance to see him live. But we didn't actually get, see a lot of film on Sturgeon because just the way the schedule fell, we never really seemed to be playing anyone that had just played them.
Inside once again, Corey with some room. He gets the first down. Probably gains 4 on the play. And it's a first down for Sturgeon as they continue to move the chains.
Well, Coach Eric Vincent had told us at a league meeting there that they were all run. They have 0 pass game.
But a pass set them up for what was a field goal.
I understand.
A tremendous play.
He said, they were run right or counter left. That's their whole offensive philosophy there. And it didn't really pay dividends at Potter, but now that Sturgeon's playing some more competitive games against equal talent, you can see this kid really exploding out there.
Prendergast gets away, throws into traffic, great catch. We'll see what the call is. Probably defensive pass interference, but a tremendous catch out there.
Well, it was a great job by the quarterback there. He broke contain, got out there. You can see him on the fundamentals there. He throws the ball down the field with his hips down the field, so he gets a lot more power into it instead of moving towards the sideline here.
That was Lavoie, great catch.
We'd worked with this quarterback too, again, at the WHSFL summer quarterback camp, and he'd come out and worked with our guys too. A strong-arm kid, trying to get better. You could see it out there that he's really great fundamentals on that throw.
Pass, complete, down to the 20. That was Connor Hartree making the catch on the pass by Prendergast. They'll mark it at the 21. It'll be a first down. And again, Sturgeon moves the chains.
Well, you can see right there, nice quick setup and a quick throw. You want to get it out of your hands early and into your playmaker's hands.
Another pitch to Corey. Got some room at the corner. Takes it down inside the 10. Finally pulled down at the 9-yard line. Another first down for Sturgeon.
Well, they're getting that perimeter blocked up pretty good there on the outside there. They run the toss now 3 times to that side, and they get it blocked up, and no one's touching them until they get 6-7 yards downfield.
And another hold. That's the second hold. You were still caught in traffic when Corey went 41 yards for a touchdown, and a hold brought it back.
Wow.
So now it's first and 20 again. That's the second time in 2 possessions that this Sturgeon team has been faced with first down and 20 yards to go after a big gain.
Well, it's tough when you're going to block to that outside there. You got to move your feet and you got to move your hips, not trying to reach out and make a block. And there's another holding play coming up too.
Another hold. That's going to make it first and 30.
Yeah, you can see it here, the Sturgeon kids, they got to move their feet. They got to quit grabbing and yanking downwards. When you get the kick-out block there or you're trying to pin them backwards, you got to really get your shoulder pads into him instead of trying to reach out and trying to rip him into you or stop him from moving. As soon as the ref sees the elbows come outside the core, that's when they call the holding penalty, right? So either that or you got to hold more effectively.
Do you teach that, Coach?
On occasion we've been taught, we teach kids the zone cut, a little bit more effectively.
Prendergast throws outside. It's incomplete. And that'll be second and 30. That's pretty tough for a high school club at any level to be faced with a first and 30.
Not a lot of plays in the playbook for that. Certainly here, they try to make a nice, safe throw to the outside, just trying to hit one. Kid stopped running at the top out there. What I did notice there, Steinbach came with the halfback blitz off the edge there and was able to get inside tailback there to get some pressure on the quarterback there. You know, if you know what they're going to do, and right now I have to assume they're going to throw again here, you know, being kind of predictable here unless they got some magic plays.
They're going to give it to Corey. He's got a pretty big hole.
And he might get this.
Gain 6, gets it down to the 35-yard line. That'll make it 3rd down and 25.
Well, you can see Steinbach here is employing a 3-4, 3-5 type defense here, trying to get more athletes on the field to combat Sturgeon's speed and Sturgeon's strength.
So Tyler Rieger goes back to punt.
That's a good kick down there.
Handled down there by number 7, Samuel Bartel. Nope, correct that once again. It's number 1, Logan Beckman. Beckman dropped at the 10-yard line.
Well, we'll have to see what Steinbach's going to open up with here right now. Sturgeon defense has not been very strong all year, giving up the most amount of points. So
once again, our apologies. It is very difficult to read the numbers from the press box here at Investors Group Field of the Steinbach Sabres. The black uniforms with the yellow trim on the number makes it very, very difficult for us to see from up here. But we do know that Nelson's the quarterback, and he hands it off. Inside, great run by number 23, Patrick Mendel. Mendel gets it out to the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
He's a great little running back, you know, that they've had for a couple years now for Steinbach here. He runs his own stretch right, sticks his foot in the ground, gets north-south, and he's got that big, long stride. So if you don't get him early or, you know, at least trying to get him in the middle of that triangle of tacklers, you know, he's going to take it to the house.
Nelson hands off once again to Mendel. Mendel gets 6. Takes it up to the 31. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Well, they had a blitz on there, and he came right through the hole, and I'm surprised he didn't just smack him right in the hole.
Two minutes left to go here in the first quarter. 3-0. Sturgeon leads it. And Steinbach showing some life, starting to move the football. They're out to their own 31. Started this drive at their own 10.
And there they go. Nice play. Getting up close to the first down.
Line, close to the first down. Probably be a yard short.
You know, without Sturgeon and Steinbach having faced each other this year, you know, it'll be a little bit of a feeling out period here. I know Jamie Peters played for the Winnipeg Rifles, and I think Eric Vincent was a Winnipeg Rifle too, and I think they played together with the Rifles. So, you know, there'd be a little bit of familiarity with the two. Sturgeon seems to be more prone to a gun-type offense, whereas Coach Peters likes the under center, gives him some more options, gives your running game a little bit more of a downward run on it.
So 3rd and about a yard, and a good second effort will get him the first down. Good work by Nelson. So Christian Nelson gets the first down on some very good second effort. He was stuffed in his first dive toward the line, but does a good job.
Those big nose tackles inside in there, you know, I don't know if they were, you know, you're used to seeing that kind of size in the Vidruk, right? You might see one of them, but not two of them right at the point of attack there. But, you know, once he got behind there and they got a little bit of a push coming, he was able to squirt out, you know, you could see it here.
Nelson under center, they're in the eye. 2 receivers on each side. Slip up for a tight end blocking position. The H back, and Mendel gets 4-5.
Yep.
Almost 5.
Well, you know, you're going to bring your fullback down here with the tackle. You're going to double team that end, just try and get a little bit of vertical movement there, and then come off, get the outside linebacker, and try and create a seam here. You know, and you really got to have your center or guard double combo and get that MAC linebacker as well too. So, you know, there's a lot of technique that's involved in this offense here.
Final play of the first quarter. Nelson in the gun. Flips it to number 6, Brady Penner. Penner gets nothing. He lost a yard.
Great play by defensive end there. He didn't get reached, kept his outside shoulder free, strung it out, and then made an easy tackle. You know, you tell him to get those hips turned all the time. You know, we call it at Grand Park spill and kill is what the way we talk about all the time. So once you get him turned sideways there, it's an easy tackle because you're going to put your helmet right on the hip and come right through the thigh board, and down they go. And you saw it on that play there. Like, the jet sweep's great if you got speed, but it's also an easy tackle if you don't.
So the teams will change ends. It will be third down and about 6 yards to go for the Steinbach Sabres, as this drive appears to have been stuffed by a good defensive effort by Sturgeon.
Well, it just seems a little bit a matter of time. Things seem to be going Sturgeon's way here. They
Delamere and Lavoie back to receive this punt. Good punt. Lavoie makes the catch. Tried to take it up the right side of the field, and a real nice tackle. Puts the ball at about the 31-yard line of the Sturgeon Heights Huskies. By late in the game, you'd have to expect Sturgeon to have a bit of an advantage. They have an army on the sidelines compared to Steinbach.
Well, you can see here that with these Steinbach kids here, they're all big farm boys. There's not a lot of them, but they're a little bit bigger than Sturgeon. And Sturgeon seems to have the numbers here, you know. But
Sturgeon's not going to run out of players.
No.
There's a lot of them down there.
One thing is, though, Sturgeon had JV football for a couple years here. Now they don't. So, you know, I'm going to have to assume quite a few of these Sturgeon boys are going to be 10s and maybe even a few grade 9s down there that probably won't see the field very much in this game.
Another penalty against Sturgeon. Boy, penalties have really hurt Sturgeon. Well, they walk it back another 10 yards.
It's been the story of their season here. Turnovers and penalties have really hurt Sturgeon in a lot of games. Fortunately, they got it together in one game this year where they ended up beating Kelvin, you know, and anytime Kelvin loses, I think everyone at Grand Park's happy.
Bringing up rivalries in the middle of a broadcast. Here's Caden Corey again. Corey gets outside, gets it into the 30 to 31. That's pretty close to a first down. Good effort by Corey once more. He's made a couple of great runs in this ball game, only to be brought back by penalties. 2 holds, 1 for a touchdown.
Well, you're going to wonder when, you know, they're not going to get brought back, because right now he's getting 7-8 yards into the backfield before contact happens. And I mean, I've seen Sturgeon here. They've ran counter now about 3 different ways. So, I mean, they've got a lot of ways of getting him the football, you know, doing the same thing over and over. So, but taking those big linemen and pulling out in front of you, and, you know, you end up kind of having to, you know, go through a bunch of waves just to get to the football.
So the measurement. First down, Sturgeon, just by the tip of the football. So a 10-yard run for Caden Corey will make it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Steinbach is doing a good job of punting the football, though, and keeping them pinned deep, giving them long fields to go here. But this defense of Steinbach here needs to get a stop on first down here, you know. Get them in 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. You see right here, you know, here comes the 40.
Prendergast doesn't like what he sees right.
That's going to be intercepted.
No, it was indeed. Picked off by number 21. We could see that one, Tyler Buchert. Buchert with the interception, another flag on the field.
Yeah, this will be an interesting call here. Steinbach ended up dropping about, you know, 7, 8 kids.
Roughing against Sturgeon.
And, you know, with a quarterback that's not comfortable reading, you know, that's just a bad throw, too. I mean, as he's rolling to the right, he tries to put it down the middle of the hash instead of throwing it towards the sideline here. And that allows the free safety to come over the top with the easy interception. You know, he bobbled it and then ended up having to catch it on the second tip. But, I mean, it just happened that, you know, ill-advised throw. When you get outside there and you don't got kids breaking towards the sideline, run, get out of bounds. Get 2-3 yards, just don't turn it over like that happened. Now
because
you see
now it's 1st and 10 from the 21.
Right, and then you put on a roughing too, and ouch. to run zone to the right here.
Nelson, Mandel, counter. Mandel's going to get 4, 5. Good effort by Mandel. He battled to get 5 yards.
Well, that's a tough run there. They're outmanned by the
6,
Sturgeon defense, and you know, he gets in there to pick up 6. That's good on him. It's hard to block everybody there. Sturgeon's playing zone coverage against them in the red zone right now, and they're running right into it.
So 2nd and 4 from the 15-yard line. Nelson, the quarterback. Mandel, the lone setback. And it's in Mandel's hands, and he had a big hole.
Yeah.
He blows through it down to the 5, the 4, probably the 3-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 3 for Steinbach.
Oh, man.
Boy, what a hole Mandel had.
Well, absolutely. That time they ran away from the zone. You see Sturgeon at the top of the screen there. They only got 2 defensive backs and 1 linebacker. Steinbach had 3 receivers and a fullback. That's 4 on 3. That's what you want to run at numbers. The first play they ran away from their numbers. They had 3 on 5. Same thing here. You're going to see. If they run right, they're going to have some success. There you go.
Oh, and they did. They ran right, and he wasn't even touched. Patrick Mandel, 3 yards into the end zone, and Sturgeon has taken a 6-3 lead.
Well, you missed it there. Steinbach coach on the sideline there lost his hat and fell on the field as well here. So he was so excited.
So surprised to see a touchdown. That touchdown you could drive a truck through.
Well,
he had huge hole, and you called it run off the right side.
Well, you know, it's all about alignment and defense. You know, our coaches talk about it all the time. Line up properly and run fast. That's all it is. But if you don't line up properly, if they got 6 on the right and you only put 5 out there, you're going to have a problem. And
Convert is up and good.
And Sturgeon's got a problem because when they go down with that fullback down there and they're not bringing a linebacker or rolling the defensive line that way or slanting that way or coming off the edge, you know, you got to do little things down there to combat the offense's numbers. And when they don't, you see big holes like that because, I mean, 5 can block 3 all the time.
Caden Corey has almost run at will in this football game. Granted, 2 were brought back because of penalties. An interception set that up. You said that this Sturgeon team was not comfortable passing the football. It was the pass going away from the offense that works that put them into a position where they gave up a touchdown.
Well, you know,
we talked about it last night during the Class A game, but when you've got something going, why don't you keep going with it?
You know, it's tough. That's going to be recovered.
Oh, that is. It is recovered by Steinbach. The onside kick goes to Steinbach. They get the football at the 38-yard line. And hopping on that ball was number 12, Austin Bueller.
Nobody wanted a piece of that on the Sturgeon team as it was coming down. Hats off to Coach Peters and his staff for making a great call here. You know, you're playing at a Potter school that's, you know, down in the Vidruk playoffs. You need to be aggressive. You can't sit there and say, hey, we'll kick it to you deep and you run it back on us, you know, or, you know, be aggressive. But you're right, you know, we're talking about it last night and the same thing. Coaches want to, you know, get everybody involved, but, you know, when things are working, you do things that are working. Nice little quarterback trap there.
Snapped right directly. Was that Bueller, 12?
I thought it was Oliver Cameron.
Was it?
No, I'm lost on my numbers here. Yeah, Austin Bueller.
Austin Bueller, the young man who recovered the fumble.
Yeah.
Direct snap to Bueller. He gets 7 yards, so it's 2nd and 3.
See, Sturgeon's gone to a man now, and now you can see them bouncing their linebackers over there trying to man up. And it doesn't make a difference because he's still got the first down, but...
Mandel gets 8.
Yeah.
Makes it easy.
Steinbach's
takes it down to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, Steinbach. Once again, we apologize. The Steinbach numbers are extremely difficult to read. If we get some names wrong, we apologize right now from up here in the press box. It's very difficult for us to see these numbers.
Send all your complaints directly to Jay Peters at SteinbachRegionalHighSchool.com or Rick Hankowicz at rick@nrs.com. Loves to hear about stuff like that. Wants to make the game better.
There's a pass block. It's good defensive play by the Sturgeon Heights Huskies. And they needed a big defensive play.
Absolutely. They were leaking a back out of the backfield there. He was covered. They had, I think it was Mendenhall heading up the through the B gap there, and he was going to be open, but you need that pressure on the quarterback constantly. You want to keep him uncomfortable.
Dawson Switzer is the man who got his hand on that pass.
See, Sturgeon's gone to man now in the red zone here. They're not, well, there you go. That's going to hurt.
Mandel again. This time he is wrapped up and brought down after a gain of about, maybe 4 yards, 3.5 or 4, and now it'll be 3rd and 7.
Great change by Sturgeon down here. They walk up the blitz late, and they're going to play man-to-man defense on you, and they fill all the gaps. Now, this is what kills zone running game right there. You only have 6 gaps to pick through in your zone game, and they put a hat in every gap, and they came right through, and they had a fill behind it. So penetration kills the zone.
So Eric Adams is in to try the field goal from the 28-yard line. A 28-yard attempt by Eric Adams. Snap is down, it's up, it's well hit. It is good. A 28-yard field goal by Eric Adams. And Steinbach takes advantage of the onside kick to put 3 more on the board and take a 10-3 lead.
Well, good drive, and that's what you want. Points, just keep building on it every single series here. And again, they went down, got 2 first downs after the onside kick, kicked a field goal. Now it's on Sturgeon here for them to do something.
On the one hand, it's great that Steinbach picked up the 3. They got some points on the onside kick. On the other hand, Sturgeon's got to be pretty pleased about the fact that they did shut them down, didn't give up a second touchdown.
Well, when you look at the game of momentum here right now, I think Sturgeon's the game of momentum here. It's a big thing for Sturgeon here to get a stop like that.
Caden Corey gets outside, cuts it back in, gets 13, 14, give him 14 yards. Another first down by Caden Corey.
Well, they get the edge there, bringing both slot backs in, and I don't know what happened to the halves up there, but they didn't penetrate. And, Caden gets off out there, and he's allowed to dance on the perimeter there. You can kind of see that he's just weaving and jitterbugging towards the sideline there. And Steinbach's chasing the entire time. Steinbach's gone back to their 3-4.
Prendergast to Corey. Corey's got a hole.
No, you got to wrap up. You can't. He's a bowling ball. You can't just strike on him and think you're going to knock him down. You got to wrap up and low. And that time, black jersey put a hat right on him, but all it did was knock him forward a little bit more. I don't even think he felt it. You can see him coming right through the middle here, and he's going to take 99, puts his shoulder into him for Steinbach, Hyde Rickard, and that's not going to get it done out there. That this isn't hockey, and there's no checks.
So Corey gets himself 9 yards. So it'll be second down and about 1, maybe just 2 feet. But Caden Corey has basically been running at will. They've been opening up holes for him, even right up the middle. But when he gets outside, he is extremely dangerous.
Well, you can see there, they're just running inside handoff play here and just trying to power you out and getting a hat on a hat. And Steinbach's trying to fill, but it just seems uneven and they're creating seams.
6 minutes to play in this first half. We're in the Vidruk Division Championship game of the Winnipeg High School Football League Championship weekend. Great conversation with Rick Hankowicz today, talking about next year. He would like to go to all the games on Saturday, just as they do in the United States.
Saturday?
Start in the morning, play all day long.
Well, I don't know any state that does Saturday games.
Well, they do Friday in North Dakota. They started at 8:30 this morning at the Fargo Dome.
Oh, you mean
final.
The final?
Yeah,
I thought you meant the regular season.
No, just one championship day instead of over 2 days.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and a big play inside by the big guy, the fullback, who comes in every now and again from his defensive line position, Stephen Hart. And Hart carries it all the way down to the 35-yard line for another Sturgeon first down.
Well, they carried Caden off the field here, and they're looking at him on the sideline, I believe. So in comes the change-up guy. I don't think it matters right now who they're going to have running the football. That Husky offensive line's getting a lot of push.
Caden looks okay. He's kind of bouncing around on the sideline, complaining about a shot he took.
From Rickard.
Here's another handoff to the big guy, Hart. Not only is he huge, he's pretty quick too.
Well, he's got a big long stride too, so he takes 2-3 steps and he's got 6-7 yards.
Right. Anyway, your thoughts on an all-day Saturday championship weekend?
Love it. Fantastic idea. Thursday, Friday, let's get the fans in here. This high school football is the premier amateur football in Manitoba, and we can get the fans out. Thursday night, school night. Sometimes it's a little tough, but I mean, the smaller schools do play on that day too. So, but I mean, you come in on a Saturday, you might be able to close down all of Brandon, have them come in. They can do their Christmas shopping.
Exactly. I think it'd be terrific. You're right. You would load up. Kenora, the buses would load up. They'd be in here.
Come into the big city.
Yeah, having some fun.
Yep.
Don't you think? I do. I think it'd be great to have just a one-day festival of the best football in the province.
Well, Manitoba football can compete with North Dakota football. We saw it last year. I think St. Paul's went down there and played Fargo Davies and beat them pretty well. We've had a lot of success against some of the smaller North Dakota schools too.
The big guy is eating up the yardage. Again, Hart takes it down to the 10-yard line. That'll be close to another first down.
This is a great drive for Sturgeon here. They're working the clock, and you can see they're not just a one-trick pony.
Well, when you turn a defensive lineman into a running back and he just powers his way.
Well, who does he remind us of? That JV kid last night, Brendan Desjardins, right? Size and speed.
2nd and 1. It's marked at the 11. Prendergast out of the pistol, one back, and it's the big guy, and Hart gets a hole, down to the 5, down to the end zone. It's a touchdown for Sturgeon Heights.
I don't know. I think he fumbled it going into the end zone. Well, if I was Coach Peters, I'd throw the flag right now for the challenge. I think he reached and he got knocked out of his hand. But if you see here, they're just moving him out. Let's see, he's in there.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, he's in. I thought it was coming out.
So a touchdown for Stephen Hart, 11 yards.
That's a great run, too, If you watch here, too, I mean, Sturgeon's offensive line, they're not knocking Steinbach off the ball. They're not real physical at all. They're just turning them to the outside and creating lanes, and Steinbach's not fighting the pressure. They're just kind of running to the outside and avoiding contact. You got to go through the V of the neck here and hit some people.
Samuel Lockie converts. We have a 10-10 ball game. Sturgeon 10, Steinbach 10, 3:33 left to play in this first half. It's the Vidruk Division Class AA Championship game, the CTV Bowl, right here on Manitoba and the Cube. Thanks for joining us for some tremendous Manitoba high school football. And you're right, it is the best amateur football that we'll see in this province.
Well, you're not going to get much better than this here. You've got good kids that work hard in the classroom. The commitments all year, it's a very serious football. You practice all week, you don't take time off in the middle of the week. There's film study that goes into this. There's summer camp. There's two-a-days. The best athletes in this province play high school football. And you can see it out here tonight here with these two teams that are competing.
Steinbach with a good return. Takes it all the way back to the 36-yard line.
Well, you could just see, Murdoch comes in and, and you can just see it's high school football already. They're one of the best teams in the province too, Massey, Winnipeg comes in and all of a sudden, they're one of the best teams in the province, right? And Sisler's always been a dominant team. West K, you can see where the best athletes go. They want to play high school football at the top level.
So it's 1st and 10 for Steinbach from just outside their own 35-yard line. 10-10 ball game, 3:13 left to play in this first half. Nelson under center to Mandel. Mandel inside, gains 3, 4, maybe give him 4 yards.
Yeah, Sturgeon's coming with that blitz again. Late shifts on the line, trying to confuse it. Didn't really matter. It was a gap scheme that Steinbach was coming with, and I think, you know, if the young man had just bounced it a little bit more, a little more patient. But I mean, you're taught on that, and it's just reverse power. If it's not there, cram it, and that's what he did, and he still picked up 4 yards.
They'll give him 3 yards. Second and 7. Just a little less than 3 minutes to go here in this first half. Nelson looks for a receiver. He's in the rush and he'll be sacked. And will they call? Yeah, it'll be the flag. It'll be intentional grounding. You can't call it a fumble. His arm did move forward.
You know, good play. I wouldn't have done it. I would have just taken the sack. You're not going to get a penalty. I mean, it's a spot foul. It didn't matter what. Just, you know, you're in the grass. You could only make things worse. Yes. You know, that's where the coach is like, don't do it, don't do it. I mean, it's loss of down right there, right? That's the penalty. It's not going to get any worse. I don't know if you get credited for a sack. I don't know how the stats work. I'm not a big stats guy anyways. I mean, you know, stats can be used to prove anything you want, you know. You got, you know, you can look at teams here.
Well, the stat here was pretty simple.
Yeah.
They lost 15 yards.
Well,
it's 3rd down and 20.
Pass protection's the key on these things. Maybe that's a stat I need to look at.
There's the punt right to Delamere. 1 hop. He takes it. There'll be no yards called, and Delamere escapes, and he's going to get all the way up to the 46-yard line.
Oh, I don't know about this. Sturgeon got away with 2 holds, and I don't know what they called, but Sturgeon got away with 2 holds coming down the field. They tackled the long snapper and then piled on him. Another hold on the far side there, and then you got a no yards here that was called, and we'll see what Steinbach is this. Yeah, another ejection roughing against Sturgeon. That's foolish here. I think that's their 3rd one. No, they've had 3 holding penalties.
3 holding penalties and now a roughing penalty.
And a roughing penalty. Yeah, Sturgeon shooting themselves in the foot.
No, it's 2 and 2 because the other roughing penalty was on the interception.
Oh, yeah, so that's the second one.
Second one.
Foolish penalties here will kill you. The 15-yard variety is...
Well, you mentioned the reason they win 1 game all year, part of it is an inability to pass, and the other part is too many penalties.
Well, you really can't knock sometimes some of the things you do, you know. You got to really coach it out of them. We had a problem with penalties in the first week, too. Against Calvin, we had 2 punt returns brought back. And just, you know, when you watch the film of them, too, they were effort and they were marginal clips, but they're clips nonetheless. So, like, you've got to, and I told the kids, it's a conditioning issue. You're just too tired to move fast enough, so you run it out of them, you know, so that next week you don't have that problem. You take the extra step. You're quicker.
Delamere, the injured player, getting help to leave the field. The officials are waiting till Delamere gets to the sideline. Pendergast in the pistol. He has Corey in the backfield. Pitch to Corey, and he's got lots of room outside. 1 block, cuts it back in, and gets 9 yards.
You know, Sturgeon's got it. They've got him nailed. They're pitching it out to the wide side there, and that corner wants nothing to do with anybody, and he's just kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, tiptoeing towards the sidelines and trying to maintain leverage. Coach, I'm not going to let him get outside. Unfortunately, you know, he might be able to run down the sideline here because he's going to head out of bounds. He's got to come up and make the tackle. He's unblocked, and he's got to come outside in and make that play. And Sturgeon's doing a great job of coming down and trying to seal up all these Sabres up in the middle of the field and create a running lane.
Officially 7 yards the gain for Caden Corey, so it'll be 2nd and 3. The officials waiting for something.
Well, it seems to be a discussion with the Steinbach sideline. Coach Peters is out on the field. A few of his guys are out on the field, his coaches. Two minutes and 31 seconds left here. Steinbach needs to stop them.
Yes, they need to go into the half with a 10-10 tie, and that's a pretty big accomplishment for a single A-team or a AA team playing a Potter Division team?
Well, you know, there's
Although
not
you
much.
mentioned it last night, there's not that much difference from the bottom of one division to the top of the next division.
You know, there is really none. I mean, Sturgeon played Potter football last couple years. Steinbach has been, and the reason Sturgeon got bumped up is they played in the championship. Steinbach's been in the championship 2 years in a row. They got great football players out there. You know, here you go again. Corner's
Another
unblocked, and he wants nothing to do with the guard or with the tailback. Ball's out. Good job, Steinbach. They're going to get a holding penalty.
They're going to get a hold as well.
Right.
And a fumble recovery, and Steinbach not only holds them, but they've got an opportunity to take it the other way.
You know, Coach Peters here and his guys, they've got to have a lot of you can't look at divisions and you can't look at anything in the playoffs. You know what I mean? There's no difference between basically number 5,
Another hold against
6,
Sturgeon.
7, 8, 9, 10 in Potter, and the top 5 or 6 in Vidruk. They're all the same teams, and they kind of rotate through the Potter and the Vidruk. I mean, if you think about it, last year you had Crocus and Massey Brandon playing Potter football. They're no different than any of these teams. They played in the Vidruk this year and got bumped down to Curry playoffs, you know, and Massey ended up taking home the championship last night. Good for them.
Direct snap to Mandel. He gets a little room outside, and then he is drilled, and we got another penalty.
I don't know what this is going to be. It's late, so I don't see it as a hold. It might be a face mask.
We'll see what the officials decide. They're having a discussion.
It looks like a holding call.
Looks like a hold.
It was late. Illegal block in the back.
So illegal block in the back will take it back 10 more yards. And you said it was late. Probably will come after the down, so I suspect we're going to see 2nd and 20.
Well, they've declined it, so it's
second and 9.
Yeah. These guys are, you know, battling right now, and no team's clearly got an edge right now. Steinbach went down, scored. Sturgeon responded now. Same play. No counter.
And a great run by Mandel. He
Wow.
takes it 11 yards to the 45-yard line.
That was awfully close to a face mask there by number 4 there, Tyler Riegert. Tyler Riegert there, very close. Didn't bend his knees and was grasping for the, you know, the head. And tailback managed to duck underneath it there and make a play.
So 1st and 10 from the 45 for Steinbach. They picked up a fumble recovery, and now they're moving the football with 1:38 left to go in this first half.
Here comes the safety blitz right up the middle.
Pass is completed. Once
He's
again to
gonna
Mandel.
score.
He's got room.
Yep.
20-yard gain for Mandel. Down to the 24.5, 25-yard line.
Well, they try the free safety blitz up here, and just a difficult call. You know, it had no real factor in the play whatsoever. What the linebacker had to do was make the play right there. Instead, he just didn't. Mendenhall made the catch, and off he went. Mendel, not Mendenhall.
Wrong league. Mandel again.
Mendenhall's out of the league now, isn't he? Yeah, those are some of my fantasy drafts going bad. Robert Mendenhall, Patrick Mendel. Right, you know, you got to get on these screens here too. You know, don't be watching the quarterback, especially, you know, no quarterback drops back over 7 yards. He was about 15 and ready into punt formation. Stay on your guy. Just hunker down. Be aware. Watch for the crack coming. Watch for the lineman pulling.
So it's 2nd and 9 for Steinbach. Once again, Nelson.
I think they're going to throw here, no?
Inside again to Mandel, and this time there is no room. Mandel is wrestled to the ground. And it'll be a loss of about 5, I think.
Oh, this might have taken them out of field goal range. I know when they punched the last one through, I mean, it didn't have a lot of height on it. Coach Peters looks like he's going for it here.
42 seconds left. I think he feels pretty safe. It's at the 29-yard line. even if they don't get it, they've put Sturgeon back deep into their own zone with not a lot of time left in the clock. And they're letting that clock run right down.
Well, I'd kick it here, let it go down and kick it. That would be the key because we saw it last night. It was a conceded single that ended up winning the game.
That's right, in the end, yeah. So timeout with 21 seconds left. It's 10-10, Steinbach and Sturgeon.
See the Sturgeon coach here listening to the Steinbach huddle and then
Cruz,
down
tell the
his
boys
bench
they
to
got it
what they're
covered.
doing. It's a good move.
Hey, nothing you can do there,
Right
man.
up on that
Stop protecting the
45-yard
ball.
line. A lot of time coaches don't realize that their voices do project in the field.
So they will try the field goal. Patrick Adams from the 36-yard line. "21 seconds left to play in the first half. We have a 10-10 ball game. And Adams going to try to put Steinbach ahead by 3. The snap, the whistle. And
I believe Sturgeon called timeout just as it was snapped. Trying to ice the kicker. Statistically, never works.
do you do it?
No. Analytics, my man.
Doesn't work.
Analytics say
You don't like statistics, but you like analytics.
analytics are truth.
Okay.
Statistics are just out there. Like I watch, Sturgeon tailback. He had 12 yards per carry this year, right? Well, that's an amazing carry, but they won one game, right? So when did he get those yards? Usually against everyone else's second and third teamers. What does that stat tell you? Nothing. He's a good football player. There's no doubt about it. But, against the first team at Grant Park.
Well, as we've also seen here today, they don't do it as often as perhaps they should.
I never want to second guess an OC,
No.
but I don't understand why that kid doesn't have 200 carries right now by halftime.
Exactly. Adams kicks it up.
Wide.
This is wide.
And he's got a lane.
Here's Riley Pierce with some room. Pierce gets it out to the 20.
Got 10 seconds
10
left.
seconds left, 9 on the clock. So
Good
Pierce
try.
got it out to the 21, 20-yard line.
If I was Coach Peters, I might have thought about punting it instead of kicking it.
Exactly. Punt it right out of the end zone, take the point.
Then
Because
it's
you
always
knew-
it's that risk of return. It scares you as a coach. I mean, you don't, you got bigger guys out there because you need that push in the middle. So even if they are defensive ends, that you'd use at your guards, right? They're still not as fast, as a cover team on your punt team. You need some bigger guys in the middle to hold back the defensive line rush and get those hands down.
Pendergast to Corey. Not a lot of room. They're trying to seal for him. He gets out of bounds with 2 seconds left. And now you got another penalty. Corey gained about 8 yards. Another roughing call against Sturgeon.
Inconsequential, really, but still, just a pattern of behavior.
That's 5 major penalties in the first half against Sturgeon.
Well, Coach Vincent's got to be upset with his kids and maybe his staff as well, too, and they need to get that corrected because it just shows a lack of discipline out there. And, it shows a lack of heart, too. I mean, the young man tailback there for Sturgeon there, Corey, Caden Corey. I know, he didn't finish either row parking. He was, objectionable conduct. When you're a star player, you got to keep your emotions in check, and you can't be hitting people in the back and taking cheap shots. It doesn't help your team. If anything, it riles up the other team and it penalizes your team.
Dylan Friesen, the injured player for Steinbach, being helped off by the coach and training staff. But another major penalty against Sturgeon. And that has really, really altered this first half. All of the penalties against Sturgeon Heights. They'll go into the run out the clock formation.
Smart move by Sturgeon. They need to go there. Coach Vincent needs to talk with his guys and say enough's enough. We're not helping ourselves.
First half ends, and we got a heck of a ball game.
Yep.
It's Steinbach 10, Sturgeon 10. The first half is over of this Vidruk Division Championship game. Thanks for watching here on My Toba and the Cube. Scott Taylor and Doug Kovacs. Glad we could bring you the ball game tonight from Investors Group Field. We're going to take a break for halftime. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the start of the second half. This is Winnipeg High School Football League Championship Weekend. Investors Group Field, Scott Taylor and Doug Kovacs for the start of the second half of the Vidruk Division Final. Caden Corey to kick it off, and he kicks it deep.
It's going to be fielded in the air here. That's the best possibility.
Steinbach to return. They get it outside the 30 and down to the 32-yard line.
Nice.
So the Steinbach Sabres return it to the about the 32-yard line.
Great tackle there by receiver Sam Leslie there, who gets in there, runs down the field, squares up on him. You know, a little high, but nonetheless, you know, he's going to make the stick right in the gap here.
Number 44, Graham Cruz on the return. So Steinbach in a 10-10 tie with Sturgeon. As we start this third quarter, it's the Vidruk Division Final.
I was going to say, they're missing a guy, and here he comes late. I was going to say, that's a weird-looking defense. You know, we'll see what adjustments they have. Here they come, the free safety blitz again, and they're going to try and go over the top.
And it will be incomplete.
Well, you know, Sturgeon's trying to blitz that free safety from depth, and he's not fast enough to get there. So, you know, when he starts coming forward, they're seeing it too. You know, it's a pretty easy concept to pick up as well.
Second 10 from the 32 of the Steinbach Sabres.
Steinbach came out there and tried to get one deep on him here. I don't think they're going to blitz. They got the two-way gap defenders right now. Here he comes off the edge. They're going to bump.
Hand off inside and some room. You can't miss that tackle. It'll be a first down for Mandel, and he
It.
fumbles.
And Sturgeon's got it.
And Sturgeon has the football. Mandel fumbles. Sturgeon takes the ball at the 50, make it the 46-yard line of Steinbach. After a 12-yard gain by Mandel, a great bit of running, but he fumbles. Sturgeon gets it, so a great opportunity for the Huskies.
Wingback counter comes around underneath there, and he gets through, and it was just weird. The Sturgeon kid got him around the waist and got him spinning, and he's trying to keep his feet, and the ball comes away from his body, and down it goes on the ground, and then, you know, he's being tackled, so he can't make a move to get back.
So Prendergast on the pistol. He's got one back. It's Caden Corey. Corey gets the football. Tries to get outside, gets a step. Good tackle by number 42, Riley Dirksen. Correct that, Dakota Funk. Funk with a great tackle. It'll be a gain of about 6 yards for Caden Corey.
Haven't seen that defense since 2011 there. That's the old Miles Mack defense, 3-3 with a cover 2 shell over top there. The only problem with it is you don't have a lot of perimeter run. You know, those are alley kids that can run up on them, but I mean, it's a unique defense that Miles Mack employed when they had Jaden McCoy back there.
Prendergast calls the signals. That was way offside, and we see the flag go. Corey's got lots of room to run, and he may turn this one up and go, but it was offside. There's no question about it. Two receivers were 3 or 4 strides over the line of scrimmage, and I would guess this is coming back.
I'm not sure about that. The nose tackle jumped for Steinbach here, so it's going to be curious to see what happened. They might be.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Okay.
These two receivers on this side were almost in the backfield by the time the ball was snapped.
Well, that would explain why they blocked up the perimeter pretty well then, you know, like. But I mean, the nose tackle for Steinbach was up and out of his stance. So, yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah.
So the two receivers were gone, and the nose tackle left his position, came into the restricted area, and we'll just play the down over there. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Well, competing penalties, but again, undisciplined by Sturgeon here on a touchdown play, but foolish by Steinbach. I mean, the guy's right over the ball watching the football. Don't watch the quarterback. Don't listen to the quarterback either.
No.
You're not going to pick up anything. Everybody out here speaks a different language anyways, right? And kids at Grant Park, they don't speak the same language at Sturgeon, same as Steinbach.
Once again, Caden Corey. This
Good
time
stick.
he gets
Ball's
stuck
out.
and he fumbles, and back comes Steinbach. They get the ball right back. Corey was hit hard.
I think it was
fumbled.
97 there. He's rolling around. Lucas Thiessen, he popped him in the hole. Let's see the replay here. Man.
What a great tackle.
Good stick.
Fumble recovery made by Dakota Funk. Funk's had a good second half already.
Yeah, bang, right in the hole. You want to run counter gap? Well, we're going to fill it. And, oh, man, never want to see that there. Steinbach kid just fired his helmet.
He's hurt. So Nelson under center. Gives it to
play.
Mandel. And Mandel is piled up. Boy, he's got a lot of heart, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
He does not want to go down.
I like his fight. It's a good kid, strong. This is his senior year. He's been doing this twice. He's been in 2 championships. He wants to take one home here. He's not really a power back per se. I mean, he's not getting those yards like we saw last night with the Brendan Desjardins, but he's got a lot of fight in him here. He seems more like, want to run that zone stretch, let him use those big, long gazelle-like legs and get outside.
Nelson barks the signals. Lots of motion in the backfield. And now he's called timeout. He did not like the defense he saw.
Well, Sturgeon's been, been getting a lot of, mileage out of this, I don't know what you'd call it here, field goal block type defense. I mean, everyone's up on the line of scrimmage, right? Firing a gap and trying to create penetration. You saw earlier on the first drive for Steinbach, they managed to pop through that level, and he was gone, except for a great play by a linebacker who was flowing over or redirected here. Same thing you see out of this one here. When they're all up on the line of scrimmage like that, you got to get outside or you got to hit it quick, and just get a couple yards, or get a little bit of yardage here and then try and pop it through. But when you hand it off deep here and you let them call collapse on the play after they shoot their gap.
So it's 2nd and 9 for Steinbach. They're at their own 47-yard line. Nelson happier with what he sees. Fakes to Mandel. He's going to run it himself. Somewhat of a quarterback draw or a broken play. Regardless, he got 3 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 6.
Not sure what they're trying to do there. They fake a reverse. Usually you see him set up the pass, but then he looked like he was going off tackle there. And good on the Sturgeon kid. He just stayed home, well-disciplined play, and just made the tackle there. And, now Steinbach's going to punt it away, and Sturgeon will get another shot with it.
So Mandel is going to punt. Delamere and Pierce back to receive. And it's a fake. Mandel's going to run with it. He's got the first down. Gets outside. There is a penalty flag. Mandel taken out of bounds after a big gain on the fake punt.
It's going to be first down Steinbach, but it's going to move back 10. It's after yards gained. And, the Sturgeon coaches can say whatever they want, but, they should have better coverage out there too. But when you see it there, I don't know about this penalty either.
It's a block in the back. It's going to go the other way. It's coming from the 50, so it will be a first down for Sturgeon.
First down Steinbach.
So the block came after the first down was obtained. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the Steinbach 50.
Again, we see Coach Peters being aggressive here. Doesn't want to kick it back to him, wants to maintain possession, wants to keep taking it to the Huskies.
10-10 tie. We're in the 3rd quarter. 8:20 left to play.
Here comes that blitz front again. Yeah, it's kind of like a
Nelson with the pitch inside, and Mandel's going nowhere, but he just keeps battling. He's not going to lay down for anybody.
Absolutely not here. It's tough. There's so many Huskies up on the line of scrimmage here, and they're fighting, you know.
Loss of a little more than a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Coach Peters getting a little agitated with his offensive line, but I can't really fault him on that one there. There's 10 Huskies coming, and there's only 6 blockers. He's trying to, you know, pop it on them. Here comes safety blitz off the edge.
Nelson, big arm, throws deep, and it's incomplete. Good coverage out there by number 4, Tyler Riegert.
Well, good on him there. You know, well-disciplined, stayed with him. You know, passes, you know, errant, I guess is the call on it. You know, it's just not a solid strike. It's not a catchable ball. It's not to the outside shoulder. It's not on the receiver. You know, he can't run to it. It just looks like, you know, he was going to throw it up and hopefully someone came down with it with a yellow helmet on.
That's what most of the passes have looked like in this ball game.
Well, neither team's had a gifted passer, that's for sure. But
these are 2 running teams with Mandel and certainly with Caden Corey. There's Riley Pierce. He's taken
great
down
tackle
quickly at the 27-yard line. So Pierce picks up the punt on one bounce, takes it to the 27.
I think that was Dakota Funk with the tackle.
Boy, he's had a great half.
48 maybe. 44, Graham Cruz. It's so tough to see from here with these.
Almost impossible.
You know, they just don't show up well against the, you know, the black, the yellow outline does not show up well. Especially the 4s and the 8s can be 6s or 3s or 9s.
Prendergast in the pistol again. Gives to Corey. Corey had lots of room, but it was stuffed, and he gets away. Great stiff arm, and a flag comes down.
We're going to have a face masking here on Steinbach. We're going to have a face mask here on Steinbach. You know, what an athlete. He must have broken 2-3 tackles there.
At least.
Missed another one. Broke a face mask, you know.
He broke the face mask. And it'll be a 15-yard penalty against Steinbach. Out to the 40, almost 49-yard line, 48 and a half. So the 15-yard penalty gets Sturgeon out of the shadows of their own goalpost. And with 6:46 left to go in this 3rd quarter, Sturgeon now has breathing room once again up at the 48 and a half. Prendergast to Corey. Corey with a big hole.
He's getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on.
Gets about 8 or 9, maybe 9 yards. He's 2nd and 1. An outstanding run, almost a first down. So it'll be 2nd and about a yard for Sturgeon as Corey continues to run the football between Corey and Hart. And no, not Corey Hart, but Corey and Hart. They have 2 pretty solid running backs, the Sturgeon team.
Well, it's a nice change-up. Here he goes again. Well, he gets popped right in there.
He gets popped, but he gets his first down with a little bit of second effort. Gets out to the 50 of Steinbach. It'll be first down for Sturgeon. He's a tough kid, too.
Absolutely there. He was stuck in the hole there, and he found a way to dip his shoulders and bounce forward for another yard to get that first down.
10-10, we're tied in this Vidruk Division final. It's Winnipeg High School Football League Championship weekend, and it's the big night tonight, the AA and AAA championship games. Good fake by Prendergast. He throws. It's caught by number 53. That's not a receiver's number. That's Nikita Kurakin.
I'm not sure what we got here. Might be a pass interference down the field here. Nope, they're picking it up. I think you might call the lineman downfield, but I'm not sure. Quarterback there needed to hold the ball.
It was the number. The problem was the number. They thought it was a lineman, but Kurakin had lined up as an end.
Well, the quarterback needed to hold it a bit longer there. That kid was covered, but he had number 7 there breaking over top there for Sturgeon. Riley Pierce was coming open over the top, and he was going to be the touchdown play.
Prendergast again. Good pass.
Oh,
Caught and loose. Outside and out of bounds at the 35. Simon Winsness made the catch. A converted quarterback to a receiver.
Well,
good hands by Winsness.
Absolutely. He made a nice sharp route out there. Steinbach zone kind of crumpled a little bit down there. You got to stay, you got to stay savvy of where your guy is in your zone, and then he ended up getting shaken to the outside, and then you got to tackle too, and he ended up picking up another 8 yards on the missed tackle.
2 completed passes, and now they go back to Corey. He steps inside. Now he comes the other way.
They're going to get Sturgeon for an undisciplined here. He tried to cut block on the perimeter, and you can't cut in high school outside the tackle box. I believe that's what the call is going to be.
It's a hold. Plain, ordinary, everyday hold.
Well, in the replay, I can't see it. I thought he went out there and he tried to cut him.
So it's a hold, and the ball comes all the way back to the 45-yard line. Yeah. It'll be 1st and 20.
Okay, I see what he did there. He got up there and he tried to block the corner, and the corner came up, so he just kind of hip tossed him. Nice judo move, or no, nice sumo move.
There's a pitch to Corey again.
There's another hold on the perimeter. Unbelievable. These Sturgeon kids are killing themselves. It's terrible. Out there, halfback came up.
He got himself a first down, too. But there was no question it was holding.
Slot back came out there, missed the half, and instead of moving his feet or repositioning, just tackles him down. WWE clothesline style. And,
So for the second time in this ball game, Sturgeon is going to have 1st and 30.
Well,
boy, these holding calls have killed Sturgeon in this game.
Every time they seem to get something going, they do something else.
Again, it goes back to stats. Caden Corey probably has well over 100 yards rushing.
Absolutely.
Well over. And yet they keep going backwards.
Well, he would be player of the game here if they could just keep their hands inside, move their feet. But it's, it's difficult.
1st and 30 for Sturgeon from center field.
Wingback counter here. He's not going anywhere.
And that's Kirakin again. Great hustle.
Yeah, good job.
He gets himself 10 yards. He gets 10 back. It'll be 2nd and 20. Number 53, Nikita Kirakin, listed as a running back, but wearing a lineman's number.
Well, kids nowadays, they want to wear their favorite player's number. They don't care.
Who wears 53?
I don't know. Who's 53 for the Bombers? Left, right out.
Left, right out. 2nd and 20. Prendergast can't handle a snap. He's in trouble.
Oh, missed him.
Missed tackle.
He's broken it.
Tries to make the pass, just throws it out of bounds.
Nice catch by the Steinbach coach there. I think he one-armed that too. Not bad.
Well, we know the coaches could play.
Well, a lot of ex-players out there, right? Work on your craft. But, again, Steinbach doesn't have to get themselves out of a hole. They just have to play solid defense here and let them gain 11 back on your 30 yards, 1st and 30. You don't have to play great defense if the other team's not going to play offense. But the one thing that Sturgeon is doing here is they are giving Steinbach long fields and hemming them in. They need a punt return here and flip the field. That needs to happen.
So it's 3rd and 20. Riegert back to punt. And the official sees something he doesn't like. Timeout.
Again, not enough guys on the field. It's all about discipline in the playoffs here. And, Steinbach's got a fumble this half. If they didn't have that fumble, who knows where this game would be this half. They could be up by a field goal. But, burning a timeout in the 3rd quarter because you can't get enough guys on the field is difficult.
So Riegert back to punt.
Good kick.
Really good punt by Rieger. Taken by the Sabres, and they just run it out of bounds. That was number 1 for Steinbach, Logan Beckman.
Wow.
So Steinbach, again, with the goalpost right behind them, will start 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
I think they're going to get a hold here on Steinbach.
And that's going to take it half the distance. Steinbach's going to have to start. They will be able to start from the 7. They'll take it all the way back to the 5.
Ouch.
So the hold takes it back to the 5-yard line.
You know, you don't get 2 first downs here. You're looking at taking a knee in the end zone, and that could be, you know,
the difference in the game.
Heck yeah.
We have 2:49 left to play here in this third quarter, and these two teams have been virtually equal. It's a 10-10 tie, but they have played an equal football game for the last 24 minutes.
Absolutely, and you know, this is the thing though. You got to take the knee in the end zone if you have to punt, because you cannot afford to give up 7 rather than give up 2.
Another question. You ran Stephen Hart right up the middle for 5 consecutive plays and scored a touchdown. We haven't seen him since.
Well, I was thinking that earlier in this quarter too. Here not the last Sturgeon drive, but the other one, the first one there, where you know you might want to just change things up a little bit. You know, we're not saying Corey's done for the day, right? You're just saying you got 2 backs in the stable, use them, right? You don't want to go home with one real fresh for tomorrow.
No, you don't have to. Austin Bueller takes it himself on a direct snap, and Bueller gains almost 10 yards.
Oh, that's a great play.
2nd and 1.
You know, the other thing is, too, is it's not that Corey's not getting it done out there. It's just, you know, when you had Hart in, it was a different offense, right?
And it was just push the ball up the middle of the field. What's happened to them more often than not today is that play outside has resulted in a hole.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, with Caden here. They're trying to run counter. They're getting holding calls. They're trying to run a stretch, toss, get multiple blocks on the perimeter, and they're getting holding calls. Whereas with Hart, it wasn't fancy. It was
just run it up the middle, run it right down their throats.
Battering ram.
But it is a first down for Steinbach, by the way. You mentioned that they have to get out of the shadow of their own goalposts, and they've done that.
Well, their punt has been outstanding today already. I think they're going to run the quarterback. Jet sweep. He's got it, the first down. Good on, Coach Peters is doing some good things here. He's varying it. You've seen the Sturgeon offense here. It's been pitch, it's been counter, and that's about it for running plays when Caden's been in there. Hart was more of a zone inside dive play. I don't really see him laterally stepping. I just see him trying to get a hat on a hat and knock some people off the line of scrimmage, and a few passes to the outside. You've seen a wide variety of offensive plays here from Steinbach and
Brady
Coach
Penner
Peters.
gains 12 yards. Nelson fakes the flip, and that's a forward pass. Well, that will be a forward pass. It's incomplete. It will be 2nd and 10.
He did have a little bit of a gap there. I'm not saying he'd have, gotten a first down or a touchdown, but there was a little bit of a hold there, and you could see that, Sturgeon would have rallied to it, but good, just bad execution. Good play design, though.
So 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line.
And I know Coach Peters, he's got a few more tricks up his sleeve here. He's not going to leave anything behind.
Nelson under the shotgun. Finds a hole. And a fumble. And it looks like Sturgeon has the football. Everybody's still battling for it, but coming up with it for Sturgeon is number 50, Liam O'Brien.
They still haven't signals yet. Here he goes. Oh, they're discussing something here. Was he down?
That was not Nelson. That was number 12 again, Austin Bueller, with that same play, the direct snap to the running back.
Third down, Steinbach.
They gave Steinbach the ball back.
I don't know what the ruling was or what happened. I'm not sure, but it looked like the ball was out before.
It was out.
Maybe it was simultaneous recovery, you know?
Probably.
Sturgeon coaches don't seem to be too happy with it.
No, they're not very happy with it at all.
Third down and 2. And here come the big farm boys from Steinbach. And who's calling timeout here now? Coach Peters is burning a timeout here. I don't know what Coach Peters thought he was going to get on defense here. You bring in a bunch of dudes, they're going to bring in a bunch of dudes as well. You know, you can see it though. You got a good Potter school down here, and you bring in your big guys. You know, they know how to line up and play it. I'm sure, you know, maybe when you play in the Vidruk, you got some lower bowls that'll just, lower seeded teams you played during the season will just leave out their base defense, and, you know, all of a sudden halfback becomes a C-gap defender, which he's not comfortable with. He's more comfortable backpedaling, and you bring out a 240-pound tight end out there who also plays defensive line, and, you know, you're going to get those matchups. But good on Sturgeon here. Good adjustment. Way to be smart.
This is the last play of the third quarter. Final play of the third quarter. And we'll see a punt unless there's another fake. This time we will see the punt. Mendel hits a dandy. Wow.
Oh, great
and
kick.
out of bounds. It went right to number 27, Andrew Delamere, but it was a line shot. Goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. A great punt by Mendel.
Well, unbelievable there. Unbelievable kick. You get that nice bounce on the angle. It sends it right out of bounds. You can't ask for much more. You would like a nice roll and then out of bounds, but you know, no return. Now you got to play defense. You actually did a pretty good job here. You know, you're pinning them now in their 30.
You were pinned down at your own 5-yard line. A couple of first downs later, you get a great punt, and now you have Sturgeon pinned at their 27.
Yes. You know, Coach Peters got to be happy with that. Now he's saying, guys, well, he might not have to say nothing if they keep taking holds, but
exactly.
If he's got to be saying, guys, this is our chance here now. Stop them. We'll get a punt return. We'll get the field goal or a touchdown, and we'll take the lead. And here comes out that 3-3 cover 2. Very interesting.
Prendergast to Corey. He's got trouble. He's going to try to get outside. Not a lot of room. Cuts it back inside.
Great run by.
Yeah. It was a good effort, and he gets almost 7 yards.
You know, that's not how you draw it up at all. But look at him ad-lib and make something happen. When he got out there, he sees, okay, you got me boxed in. I'm going to stick my foot in the ground now. Here, stop. And I'm going to get up the field, and I'm going to drag 2 guys, and I'm going to get myself 7 yards, and now I'm in position.
So second and a long 3. Prendergast to Corey.
Great tackle.
But Corey fights it off and gets himself a first down, and it looks like we might have another roughing call, this time against Steinbach.
You know.
Great work by Corey to get the first down. He got it out to the 40.
You know, we're teaching now, in the tackling, with the new tackling, we're teaching eyes through the thighs, get down, you know, and wrap up through there, alligator roll. You know, he's just too high.
No, it's a hold once again and a rough the other way. So we're going to play the down over again. Another hold against Sturgeon. And it's on Riley Pierce, number 7, who dropped.
That's his second hold here.
Number 7, Samuel Bartel.
Riley Pierce is playing the wide receiver out there, and they count on him to make some key blocks on the perimeter. And he's got a block. He can't keep trying to hip throw people or grab them.
So they say the penalty to Sturgeon came after, and they've given him the first down at the 40. I guess an assumption that the hold had nothing to do with the game. Prendergast fakes to Corey.
Nice play. Nice catch.
He has Riley Pierce. Pierce, a big guy, and he gets it up toward the 50. He'll be right near the first down marker.
Look at Coach Peters' kids right there. He's got 8, 9 kids getting out there to make the tackle. There's no quitting these Sabres. And you watch the Huskies, too. They rally to the football. What people don't understand out there is when the ball's caught, your linemen need to get down the field and start making blocks. If there is a fumble, as we've seen here, you need them down there to make the recovery too. Don't just watch.
So 1st and 10 from the 50. Prendergast barks the signals, pitches to Corey.
Oh, come on, you
Corey
got to get out there.
has lots of room, and he could be gone. He is. Caden Corey with way too much speed. He cuts it back, and he's caught. He had the angle had he continued going with his speed, but he cut back and was caught by number 11, Efren Dimmerout.
Well, as soon as he was out there, I could see he was going to get the alley. Mackenzie Duick, 24 there for the Steinbach Sabres. He had to cut that alley down, and he didn't want anything to do with Corey. He was trying to funnel him towards the sidelines, and he was late, and Corey just went right past him down there.
So now it's 1st and 10 at the 15. Fake to Corey. Wide open is Riley Pierce. Pierce cuts it down to the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 1. But a good pass by Prendergast on a great fake to Corey.
Absolutely, taking advantage of him. Corey might be a little gassed from that long run, so you know what? Just run him up there. Here we go, quarterback sneak coming up. I have no idea what Steinbach's doing.
Nope, Prendergast goes to the end zone, incomplete.
Too many men Steinbach, I believe, and no idea what they're doing out there.
Yeah, there's 13 players.
13 guys, so they didn't get the call. Someone wasn't paying attention out there. You got to be situationally aware. I know it's hard to hear, but if you're on the 6-yard line and, you're going to go into some type of defensive goal package, like a red zone package, you need to be aware of that.
And now it's 1st and goal from the 3.5. So Sturgeon with 1st and goal, 8:55 left to play in regulation time. A 10-10 tie in this Vidruk final.
Well, I'll see
it's
what
an offside to Steinbach, a flip to Corey.
It's not
Corey's into the end zone for a touchdown. The offside isn't going to matter. It's 16-10. Caden Corey takes the final 3 yards. After a scoreless third quarter, Sturgeon marches the ball up the field, and Caden Corey takes it in for the touchdown. It'll be a 3-yard TD run, but he did most of the work earlier with a 35-yard run, and now it's 16-10. Number 29, Samuel Lockey will come out to try the extra point.
Well, they're all bunched inside here, and that good call by the Sturgeon coaching staff run the toss to the outside. I mean, you don't have any receivers out there anymore to block for them, so, they're not going to get the hold. You're going to get a one-on-one. Kid comes up, makes a stick on Caden Corey, but, he just runs him over and gets into the end zone. He's a tremendous athlete, and you can see it. Steinbach now has to answer. And they've got to do something. They don't have to score on this drive, but they've got to do something now to answer. And and they've also got to shut Sturgeon down now and get back in this game here. But they've got to get a couple first downs, pin them deep, or get some points on this drive. 8 minutes left.
So Corey will go out and kick it off. Scores the touchdown from 3 yards out. And he'll kick it off now. 17-10. Sturgeon leads Steinbach. We have 8:37 left to play. Corey kicks it off. And it's just taken down and handled.
Good play. I don't know. I would have, hopefully said, you're out in that wing position there on the kickoff return because you can catch it in the air and you can get us some yards back. He just played it safe down there. I didn't catch the number.
I believe it was Darryl Pierre, 81.
You'd kind of hope when you put a kid out there on the wing there that the reason you have him out there is he can field an onside kick or jump. He's got some receiver
skills. But the 40-yard line isn't bad.
Look at his here now. Here we go. And Sturgeon is confused, and they're going to throw that ball out there. No, they're not. Ouch.
It was, again, Austin Bueller with a direct snap run.
You know what? They had the numbers at the top of the field here. He should have just thrown it out to that receiver there and let those linemen block those corners.
But Bueller's not their quarterback. He's a wide receiver running back. It was almost as if Sturgeon knew what the play was going to be. It goes for 2 yards. But once you put Bueller back there, he's not going to throw the ball.
I don't know. I would tell you that most receivers can throw a little bit. They spend all their days catching. I don't know. Coach Peters digs into the bag of tricks hoping to get something. Uh-oh.
And it'll be picked. And a good interception by Delamere. He's tackled nicely. A great tackle. But Delamere picks it off.
And Austin Bueller threw that pass, so, you know, the
yeah,
coach Scott Taylor calling it from the press
he's
box.
Not the guy I would have passing the football.
I understand. They faked the run, tried to get him up. You know,
great interception by Delamere.
They
one-handed.
did. Absolutely. He had him beat. Whoa, what's this? I think they're coming back out on the field. What do we got here? It's against Sturgeon. You know,
it was after the interception.
Okay, fair enough.
The penalty against Sturgeon's number 54, Dawson Switzer, takes it all the way back to the 36-yard line, but the interception by Delamere stands. And that was a tremendous interception. It wasn't that bad a pass. I'm not going to dump on Austin
No,
Bueller.
It wasn't.
It wasn't that bad a pass.
He had the safety beat. He had the safety beat. It was just a little bit underthrown. You know, Austin's probably not the most comfortable passer there. There's outside zone.
Again to Caden Corey. Corey cuts it back up, gains 10, maybe 11 yards.
You know, slowly Caden Corey's starting to take this game over here. And you saw it last drive, and here he comes again.
But if they continue to take time off this clock, continue to give it to Corey and move the yardage markers, they've cut it down to below 7 minutes with a 17-10 lead.
Yeah.
That was a huge turnover.
Absolutely. Turnovers are going to kill you. That's Steinbach's second one here this half.
Another pitch to Corey. He sees a little room, slips and falls, blew a tire, but got himself 6 or 7 yards once again.
You know, on that play there, Steinbach had come up the field there a little bit more aggressively there on the outside toss, and were trying to cut him off that time. Whereas, you know, on the long run he'd had in the last drive, they were not. They were just kind of moving towards the sideline, trying to angle him there. And, you know, you got to love that about this kid, Caden Corey. He does not mind contact. He's going to stick his foot in the ground and hit you.
Second down, 3. Corey again. A huge hole. Corey gets the first down, cuts it back through the middle, gets it down inside the 50 to the 48-yard line. And now Sturgeon is taking the clock down below 6 minutes. Sturgeon stays away from the holding and continue to give Corey the ball.
The holdings and the objectionable conducts, the roughings. You know, you can't have that in playoff football, but
they may survive it because of Caden Corey.
Now he's the answer.
Again, a pitch to Corey. Got a little bit of room,
Whoa,
bounces off a tackle, and now we've got a flag. I suspect a roughing call against Steinbach, maybe.
Graham Cruz came up from his safety position there and just stuck him right in the hole, and Graham Cruz got the worst of it here. You see it on the replay, bang. Graham Cruz came up, you know, and stuck him right there in the hole and down. Sturgeon 45 face mask.
No, they said Steinbach, I think.
Well, anyways.
So the penalties, there isn't a 25 on Steinbach. They call it 55, I guess.
Caden Corey's going to have to come off. He's
so
getting looked at by the trainer.
Hunter Nielsen gets the penalty. The ball goes inside the 30 to the 29-yard line with 5:24 to play.
Very, very closely contested game here. And then, you know, a turnover. Ouch. You know, I'm still watching this here. Steinbach's got two safeties, you know, with 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Now we see big Stephen Hart again, now that Corey's had to leave the game. They pitch to Hart. And the big guy takes it all the way down to the 19, the 18-yard line. They lose nothing with Hart in the game.
No. Big kid. Watch him come outside here, and shakes off a tackler, drops his shoulder, falls down forward, first down.
Well, they're going to have a measurement. It's very, very close. The other thing about Hart that I like is he's a lot faster than a defensive lineman should be.
Oh, absolutely here. You know, very rarely do you run toss with a defensive lineman out there.
It's just short, about 2 inches short of a first down. So it'll be 2nd and inches. I'll take my chances with Stephen Hart. .5:01 left to play in regulation time. Sturgeon threatening to score again. They lead it 17-10. This is the Vidruk Division final. Quarterback sneak, gaining about a yard. They'll mark it at the 18. It'll be a first down. As Prendergast gets the first down and the clock keeps ticking away. Mark it down inside the 18. And Sturgeon could pretty much feel it right now. If they don't pick up any dumb penalties.
Now, field goal here, you know, Steinbach's tried some things, but they really haven't moved the ball in the second.
Haven't scored a point in the second half. Hand off to the big guy, Hart.
Stiff
arms.
arms.
Stiff arms, heads toward the end zone, and he scores. And now we got another penalty. Another penalty. It looks like perhaps a block from behind. 44 of Steinbach. Graham Cruz was hit from behind, and it's coming back. Yeah, block in the back. That had nothing to do with the play. Hart was already well past it.
Well, you know, Sturgeon might win this game despite Sturgeon. You know what I mean? It's not been a great show for them here, you know, but they're clearly the bigger physical team. You know, I'd like to see Steinbach do some different things on defense here and slow down this run game, but they're sticking with their 3-3, you know, which, you know, is not really, you know, they're running at will at them right now.
1st and 20. Hart's still in the backfield. He gets it. Breaks a tackle, breaks a second tackle, a third tackle. He gains 10 yards, well, make it 8. And cuts it to 2nd and 12.
What a tough run there by Hart. I mean, 97, Lucas Thiessen had him wrapped up and at the point of attack, but he only grabbed jersey, he didn't grab leg or thigh, and he breaks that tackle and still picks up 5, 6, 7 more yards after that. And, you know, you can see out there just physical running by Hart.
We have a shoe issue. Number 71, Connor Hartree, loses a shoe, so into the game comes Nathan Denoye.
Little confusion out there for a second.
It's going to Hart. Nope, he's going to throw the ball. Tosses it up to Riley Pierce, and he can't hang on. Riley Pierce was wide open. It was a pretty good pass from Prendergast.
Fantastic throw from Prendergast. Hit him right in the hands and just lost concentration. And he dropped it. I mean, you can see it on the replay there. Wide open, in the hand. You got to make that catch.
That was a good pass by Prendergast.
You got to make that catch, you know. Third down and 13. Oh, very curious to see what they're going to do here.
3:06 left to play.
Wow.
And Sturgeon's going to call timeout.
Sturgeon's done a great job here. That's their last timeout. I don't know what they're thinking here with that one. I mean, that's their last timeout of the half here.
Well, if they put some points on the board, they can pretty much put it away anyway.
I hear you. If you don't,
exactly.
And Steinbach scores, you know, you need to save that one. I'm not sure. They got their coaches over there. They're talking. you know, this should be automatic this late in the season. You yell field goal, you yell rhino package, you yell, you know, punt team. Those guys should be going in and out. Here comes the field goal team, you know. So maybe he just wanted to make sure he had the right people to cover the field goal. I know at our school we have two types of field goal packages. We have short convert field goal, and we have field goal, which has got more linebackers on it and more running backs and more halfbacks on it that can cover. You know, when we're kicking a convert, I'm okay with linemen being in there and, you know, having a big front four or front seven there. But here you want to have guys that can run down and cover. Blocked. Nope.
Field goal is up. It is wide. Steinbach will bring it out.
Oh, dude. You know,
take it down to the 6-yard line.
He caught it in the air. He did a great job. He put the move on Hart and could have got to the outside and would have been going down the sideline, but I don't believe he believed his own move.
Let's have another look.
You watch right here. He catches it. He's got him. He had Hart turning back to the inside. He needed to stick that foot in the ground and get outside on him. You know, returning towards the middle where all those guys are coming down, you know, that's tough. Get to the outside. I mean, we saw that a couple years ago with the Auburn kick 6.
Right.
Saw it this year, Florida State versus Georgia Tech, kick 6. You know, get outside. That's where the touchdowns are.
So Steinbach with probably their last chance. 2:40 to go here in regulation. Bueller in the backfield. He runs the football.
They have Steinbach's just got to go. Don't worry about the clock.
We'll correct that. It's Mandel, not Bueller this time.
Don't worry about the clock. Just score a touchdown. We're not going to punt here. There's 2:38 left, guys. Just be calm and cool.
So now it comes back to the quarterback. Nelson. With Mandel as the lone back. Handoff goes to Mandel. He takes it 6 yards.
Great stick there by 27, Andrew Delamere. Great way to come up on the feet.
Delamere's had a tremendous game.
Well, he's had an interception.
Kicks and punts and interception. Done a great job on defense. So a first down at the 36-yard line. Steinbach moves the football.
Oh, there he is.
Go long.
Delamere's going to pick that one. No,
nobody's going to pick it, but 22 was almost able to pick it. And that was Spencer Winsness.
You know, Steinbach's got to get away from these big rainbow passes. The Huskies are too athletic in the secondary, and they can rally to it. You need a quick pass. You don't need a touchdown. You need chunks of yardage.
You've got enough time to go chunks of yardage. Now you got second 10.
You only need a touchdown on the last play of the game, you know. I sit with our quarterbacks all the time, explain this. Like, first down, we need chunks in 2 minutes, chunks. Unless it's the last play, you need chunks. Ouch.
Good bit of running by Mandel, but he is taken down by 5 Sturgeon Heights Huskies.
You know,
gains about a yard, maybe.
Mandel didn't trust the read. He had the edge. He needed to continue towards the numbers, and he would have gotten more yards. You know, not a touchdown, but they had them walled up, and they were moving him on the outside, and he stuck his foot in the ground right there. Like, he just didn't trust it, and then, you know, that outside zone, it requires your back to make a good read for it to be successful.
Sturgeon gets a break here. It's almost like a timeout, an injury to Steinbach. Now the Sturgeon defensive coaches can talk to their players.
No, you're right about the 2-minute drill. I sit down with our quarterbacks, and we go over it every week. Where are we? What do we need? What are we doing, right? And, you know, just keep framing it. Chunks of yards, right? We take 4 or 5 plays, and that's all we do is when we do our 2-minute drills, we run those 4 or 5 plays over and over and over again.
Martin Barron, the injured player, being helped off, by the way.
You know, because if you just start throwing deep, you know, you're going to be in a long yardage situation, or you're going to have interceptions, and you're going to lose the game instead of trying to win the game.
So it's 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 for Steinbach. This is a huge play. As a matter of fact, it's the ball game.
Offside.
Offside, Steinbach, no call. Another long pass. Winsness up, picks it off. Spencer Winsness with the interception at the 38-yard line of Sturgeon. 1:43 to go. They get one first down. This one's over.
Yep. I thought they had the mid-level crosser open in there already, but I mean, again, just trying to, he needed 9 yards, not 25.
Not 25, exactly.
But, if you're based on the run and you're going to run the ball a lot, you might not pass, and you've really got to have a passing game.
He's got a strong arm. Throw the ball a long way.
Absolutely.
But it looks like you mentioned the rainbow pass. It's just up there.
He threw it on about a 3, which is the levels that we look at. He needed to throw it on a 2.
A handoff to Caden Corey again. Corey just wanting to hold on to the football, almost gets a first down. Gets about 8.5, maybe 9 yards. What a game for Caden Corey.
Absolutely here. Caden Corey, probably the leading rusher, but
easily the leading rusher.
You got the Hart kid here, number 55, Stephen Hart with the 2 touchdowns. So, it's hard.
What an effort by Caden Corey. The whole game has been an effort by Caden Corey. 1:20 left to play in regulation. Prendergast in the pistol. Gives it to Corey again. Corey had some room, and he's all alone down the sidelines. Tries to get a block. Doesn't matter. He got the first down he needed. 1:07 left to play. This one's pretty much over.
Great run. Cut back. Not physical by the Huskies whatsoever on the offensive line. They stand up and they just kind of pop the kid, let the Steinbach kid run out of the play, and then bang, makes a great cutback. Great read.
What a game for Caden Corey. He has just been the difference.
Absolutely.
He'll get it again. Little bit of room. Breaks 2 more tackles. Gets it inside the 25. And he's pushed forward. The pile goes forward down to the
Somebody lost a glove or a shoe. I don't know what that was. You watch here. It's a lateral step by the Husky offensive line. They get a hat on a hat, and then they just let Caden Corey go downhill and just bang.
And then watch this pile come in and push Corey forward. And it was
Caden Corey's coming out. Yeah, he's coming out. Somehow that popped off.
But you just throw in 55 Stephen Hart, and you don't lose a beat.
Yeah. Well, it's...
And especially now at this stage. It's time to take a knee. 40 seconds.
Oh, my God. Oh. Isn't that, drop the snap on the victory. Oh, God, those are things that drive coaches nuts. Son.
We're into the victory formation. 33, 32, 30 seconds left.
Sturgeon
That'll
faithful.
do it. The Sturgeon crowd loving every minute of this. Letting the play clock tick down.
Close game. One-score game, 17-10.
One-score game.
Haven't they all been like that this well? Not the JV game, but
2 out of 3. We got some Gatorade.
Now
Coach
Vincent's
Vincent's
going to get
a little bath. It's over. The Sturgeon Heights Huskies are the Vidruk Division champions of the Winnipeg High School Football League. With a 17-10 victory over the Steinbach Sabres. A tremendous football game for Caden Corey, the running back for Sturgeon. Almost 200 yards rushing in this one. He scored a touchdown. Stephen Hart had the other one. But 17-10 is the final, and the Sturgeon crowd loves it. The fans hugging their players. We've got an investor group feel leap going on over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Some guys taking it a little overboard over there, but You know, you want to celebrate with your teammates, you know. Congrats to Sturgeon Heights, you know, tough year, but they never quit, you know. They got knocked down to the Vidruk, and they rebounded and were able to do little things.
Congratulations to Sturgeon Heights, winners 17-10 in this Vidruk final. Scott Taylor and Doug Kovacs, glad you could join us for this one. Now we'll be back in about 20 minutes with the big game, the AAA final, the Potter Division final. Who do you like in that one?
Well, it was a close game. They played week 1, 13-7 was the score. St. Paul's over Massey. I like, you know, St. Paul's is a monster.
They are. Massey's had a great season.
You know, curious to see what happens out there. You know, I don't know. I would have told you last year that St. Paul's was going to shut down Brady Oliveira and the Oak Park Raiders. You know, also, they had a tremendous corner last year for St. Paul's, 21. The name escapes me right now. But it just seems when they get in these championship games, sometimes St. Paul's plays down a little bit, you know, and you know, they could stop everyone but Brady last year, and they gave up a touchdown pass. You know, some of their best players for St. Paul's didn't have a great game. I'm thinking that might be stinging them a little bit, and they might be looking for some redemption here this year.
Well, we're going to see it in about a half an hour.
Absolutely.
About a half an hour's time. We're going to have some awards here now. It was a tremendous victory for the Sturgeon Heights Huskies. They are the Vidruk Division champions. Thanks, everybody, for watching here on mytoba.ca and theCUBE. This is Game 3, just completed, of the Winnipeg High School Football League Championship weekend. Sturgeon Heights 17, Steinbach 10. We'll be back with the AAA Potter final in about a half an hour. Thanks, everybody.